Shegrin, thanks for your time. We appreciate it. So, take-home payments down 1.3%. Tell us why.
It's a pleasure. Good evening, Shahan, to you and your viewers. To tell you why, that's not going to be that easy. I think we've probably all been living it for the past few months. What we have observed, though, I can tell you what we have observed, is that there's been a reduction in the number of payments through the systems for the last 6 out of 7 months. We're currently looking at take-home pay. The real take-home pay is looking at about 13,918. That's the average real take-home pay, which was a reduction of 1.3% on an annual basis. And we feel that there's possibly we can surmise that there's potentially a correlation in terms of the number of people that are getting paid on a monthly basis in relation to the unemployment figures and the unemployment data that Stats SA have given regarding South Africa. So I think in a nutshell, what you're looking at from our data pools tends to actually be in alignment with all the other numbers that we're seeing.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about these other figures that you have released here. Real take-home pay was 13,918, the lowest in 4 months. But those earning between 25 and 50,000 increased. Explain that for us, or elaborate.
Well, it increased by 3.6%. Now, if you have to take that into comparison to what it was like up until May, when it was increasing at double digits, because bear in mind that we're looking at the number of people that are getting paid, or the number of payments that are going into accounts in that category and within those brackets. So just that reduction tells us that there's definitely been some sort of some sort of effect or impact on the number of people that are employed in that category. So notwithstanding that it's looking positive in the 3.6 band, if you look at it in the greater numbers where it was increasing at double digits, it actually tells you a different story.
Yeah. What does it say about people getting salary increases or adjustments?
Well, once again, we can only surmise, right? It appears that the salary increases or adjustments might not be meeting up with the inflation targets, with the numbers that we've got for inflation. So that's probably one of the reasons why we believe that there could have been these impacts. So there's potentially two reasons. One could be that the salary increases are below inflation, and the other could be mass retrenchments, or at least a substantial number of retrenchments.
You also had some research on private pensions being up in October. Give us those figures.
So you're looking at private pension having increased in nominal terms on a year-on-year basis by 4.5%. Sorry, that's in real terms. Apologies. In nominal terms, it was 9.6%. So real terms means after inflation. That's looking at approximately 6,917 Rand. So your average pensioner is getting approximately 50% of the average take-home pay number. It's not, I mean, when you look at the pressures on pensioners in this day and age, having to support the families and contribute to families given retrenchments and unemployment, even though it seems pretty reasonable, when you look at those pressures, it might not necessarily be in the long term.
All right, thank you so much for your time and your insight. We appreciate it. That was Bank-Serv-Africa's Shegrin Naidu.